Okay, I commend you for wanting to learn these bass patterns, because learning a bit of theory when it comes to music can do wonders, especially when you're suffering from writer's block or when you're starting a song. In this video, I'm going to highlight some of the bass patterns that are very common in melodic techno in hopes that it will inspire you to make something. Melodic techno, a lot of the times the kick is going to be fairly short, so this is why I don't trust this kick, because the longer the kick, the more the sidechain that has to occur, and if you're going to be executing some of these patterns, you're going to want a kick that's at least before somewhere around here, and you're going to see why that is very important. Hold Command-Shift-M. And this is going to allow us to have this. Now, we're going to go into a 16th where most bass lines are going to be written unless you're doing like funky hipster stuff. And from here, you're going to pick a key. Now, the first thing you must realize is the key is very important. The lower the key in terms of C3 to C4, the more grittier the bass sounds, but the more sub you are sacrificing, the more perception of the sub. So if you want something that sounds very boomy, you're going to go with something up here, G, G sharp, A sharp. These keys are going to provide to you the fattest bass, fattest sub possible, while the lower keys are going to give you more dirt bass, but not as much sub. The first bass that you must know is the rolling bass, and I fairly believe that this was stolen from Trance. Someone thought, look at the Trance guys, and someone got Armin. That's why Armin like literally does that symbol when he's up at the DJ booth to let people know they got his ass. But the rolling bass, simple. 16th, you're going to fill in all the gaps when you have a 1/16th. And it's going to sound like that. Now, with the proper sidechain, we're going to put in audio. We're going to sidechain from the kick so we can see the kick. Now, this is why the length of the kick is very important, because if we're executing a rolling bass like this, and let's get rid of this, you're going to notice that this is somewhat very formulaic, because if I don't have the bass playing on that spot there, then that could be all for the kick. So theoretically, I wouldn't need a sidechain if the kick is this small, which you will hear in some Anima tracks that his kick is very small, but very potent. Oh. So I don't technically need the sidechain here. This is why the length of the kick is important. But with 16 rolling bass lines, you can go this format where you get rid of the 1 to allow for the kick, or you can just say F it and boom, just go like a rhino. And now you need the sidechain. But for this bass, what makes it hard is that people will usually get big ass kicks and go like, I don't know why I can't get my low end right. Because you need a short kick, honey. You need a fucking short kick. Okay, so it's as simple as that, and it's as logical as that. Okay, so from here, the next piece that we can do is the Trance Gallops. And I excuse myself. This is the one that was stolen from Armin. This was the one that, melodic techno guys went, Okay, so, and by the way, I'm ignorant on that. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but that's my truth. All right, here we go. And all we do is get that offbeat, which is usually going to be on a 0.3. And by the way, when I'm talking about 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, I'm talking about this 1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3, 1.1.4, 1.2, 1.2.2, 1.2.3. I'm talking about that ending on there in between the kicks. Go up. And it's as simple as that. Now, as you learn these, you can instantly start a song, okay? Again, this one, you can take away the 1 as well, like so, and we get something cool. Straight up. We lose a bit of the vibe, but now we don't need a sidechain. Raw dogging it. Music production, super easy. It's just people like to overcomplicate stuff, trying to do things without proper theory and not using common sense. So we've learned a couple of bass lines. Now it's time to get groovy here. Okay, so to get groovy, okay, we're going to go 1/16 again, D sharp. The first one we're going to learn here is going to be this one, which you're going to pretty much hit the 0.2, the 0.3. You're going to skip the offbeat. Okay, now your brains, you know where I'm going with this. Now, I do recommend that you elongate this note here when you have a properly designed patch that you can use. Elongating will aid you versus having it sound thin. Versus, you can see how the bass, the low end of it, lingers longer, gives you more sustain, gives you more power, which is what we want. All right, so from there, we're going to go and skip this, and we're going to hit that offbeat. And this is the next next pattern that you guys should know. Because from here, you just go pam, 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 let him have it. Go up on stage and just go consciousness. And then do your dance. saw the future, and the future is here. When the bass moves our bodies, no one's here. Take some ecstasy up the nose. Now with this kind of kick, since we don't have the bass always hitting like so, as you can see, you do want to have a bit of a longer kick for this one. And again, common sense. The bass isn't da-da-da-da-da. It's leaving big gaps, ready for a big kick to fill them. So what we're going to do is kickstart this. We're going to go boom. And there you go. Now, if you want that middle shot, your point T2 to pop out, you can add this bend here, anything above 150. So you allow this nice sounding bass from Genesis to pop out. You guys have to believe, man. This sounds good as it is, bro. I'm telling you. This is the pack you want. We'll change the bass. And as you do this, again, you're going to discover like, oh, cool. Like, I could do some dope stuff. From there, we can go back to another rolling bass. Again, always in 16ths with Melodic Techno. And we're just going to do the Trance Gallop now. So we have the Trance rolling bass. Now we have the Gallop, which it's like the car. It sounds like a horse. Now, obviously, this bass isn't working as intended because this is the siren bass from the track, and it's modeled after the siren bass, which means that if I were to do this and put it on the key of siren, pretty much it's almost like 98% replication. From here, literally, there's more melodic bass patterns that you can start to kind of execute, but they're all going to stem away from the basics, the fundamental ones we learned, because the idea now is that as you start to make music and you use these patterns, you're going to start to kind of want to do your own thing with it. So for example, we'll use the groovy one. The song get that. Here we can implement what we learned from the Trance Gallops. Little mixture. Let's go one more. Too easy, bro. We can do the roll. And then just kind of add the grooviness somewhere in there. Find the groove, Luke, okay? Am I even... Dude, too easy, bro. Oh, come on. All we're missing is the 909, fam. I'm telling you, fam. Close hats, velocity. You're part of the Sound World evolution of sound, fam. You know what you're doing, bro. Join the greats. Because we're coming. Add an auto pan. No way! Nah, those are just to show off that I'm a good sound designer. Music. When you understand theory, when you learn some basic patterns, you can implement them and then your brain starts to work, because our brain is always looking for patterns, and that you develop your musical side of your brain, which I don't know if that's the left or the right. You're going to be able to hear something and start to go, oh, I can do this and that and this and that. There is no right to music, but there is a right path to music. So you go down the right path, and then there's multiple choices that branch out like a damn family tree. And that's the thing, but you go down another bad path, which bad sounds, and then you kind of wonder why your track doesn't bang. And again, this is why it's important to have the right sounds. If you guys have been let down by presets before, don't fret. Check out Genesis. I promise you're gonna like it. And if you don't, you can always ask for a refund. I always do that. But with this video, I wanted to show to you guys how fun music can be when you know a bit of theory, a bit of like the generic stuff to do, and then you can break that and start to make your own patterns. And hopefully this video shows that. If you guys like the way that I teach and you're pursuing knowledge, consider watching this video on how I remade some of the infamous Anima leads. In that video, you're going to learn stuff about pre-driving with EQ to make your distortion sound a lot better, how they get their leads sounding fat, and how I made a lot of the sounds in this video. How did I get the bass line sounding good? It's all in that video. And as always, you guys have a great rest of your day.